MML, and we are back with yet another one of those lovable preview play polls. And we're going to stay with the pros yet again today with the SCC / WFC play poll. And I've got one of the most, how can we put it, craziest, most lovable co-announcers in the MML with me. And the first time we've actually announced together, so I'm quite excited, to be honest. It is the one and only, the lovable Gio. How are you doing, Gio? Afternoon, buddy.
Hey, what's up, Bernie and everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. This is quite exciting for me to be in the booth with Bernie, legendary Bernie, and we are doing the preview for my conference, SCC WFC. We have some very, very awesome teams and some fantastic coaches that we will be reviewing, and I hope you enjoy the show. I am already enjoying the show, and I'm so excited, and I cannot hide it, and this is going to be a trip, man. I'm already tripping, Bernie.
Fantastic, that's what I want to hear. Right, so we're going to start with the SCC to start off with. We're going to leave your little conference to the end. We'll touch your wonderful team later on. So, I think we'll start off with... let's start off with the current Challenge Cup champions, the Woodchippers, who obviously was who was in the challenge last season. We saw them live win the final against them lovable Nagel, and the question will be, can they take the step up to obviously the pros and make the playoffs? And that's what me and Gio are going to discuss. Bummerman, how you doing, buddy? I survived my Nagel game, mate, and I won. Woohoo! Bummerman takes great interest in my trials and tribulations with my new Nagel. So, the Woodchippers, here we go. This is a very nice team. Gio, what do you like about the team? Is there anything you don't like about the team?
Oh, man, the first thing I have to say, it's elves, man. So they're fantastic. They have tons of agility increases. That makes them even elfier, even soapier, even slippery. Man, this is a very solid team. They do have that plus strength war dancer with frenzy and tackle. So that one piece is beautiful. It's going to be a nightmare, not just for me, but basically for all the other teams. And those he's got those two catchers with plus agility. Oh man, and they have leap as well, so they leap on 2 pluses. It's going to be so hard to catch them and to corner them, impossible. And the other catcher with the guard, this is going to be a very, very tough team to face. I can fully understand how Clown Zombie he won the CL League with this team. It's very, very solid. They do have some injuries, but I don't think they're going to make a difference. This is a very, very solid team. I'm trembling already. I'm scared of them.
Yeah, Sparrow, he's like a rock star in the team. He's the one they all talk about. Even though there's some really, really good pieces, like you've already said, he's the one who gets talked about the most. And everyone's sort of, the impression I get is everyone's saying, get rid of Sparrow, get rid of Sparrow. He's the rock star. You got to get rid of him. But like you said, there's agility fab all over the place, and you could even screen it off, and he's got an agility fab who can just leap over the top on the 2 plus. No, Clown's in chat now. Is there any weaknesses to this team? The only thing I know I sound like a broken record when I say this. If I'm looking at weaknesses, and yet there isn't many, and I am nitpicking, is one, the team value is 2020, so it's really, really high, and he's only got 11 players. And there's a lot of mighty blow in the field, and there's a lot of dirty players and all that sort of stuff. Is it a case of you've just got to get in the faces, break them early, and then as good as they are, if they've only got 5 players left, they're going to struggle? Or do you not see any sort of weakness in this team?
No, as you said, that team value at 2020, it is high. For some of the teams, that's going to mean that they can take some inducements. A chainsaw on the field is always so nice to see, and it's a nightmare for Wood Elves, definitely. And then, of course, there is the fact that I don't think that Sparrow is a rock star. He's a decoy. That's how I see him. And I mean, he's there to be like, hey, I'm here. I'm here. Try to get me. Try to get me. I think that the real weakness is if the other guys, especially the guys with guard, if they get removed from the pitch, then the team is going to suffer. I think that's the real strength of this team. Those pieces with guard, and not all of them are very well protected. There's that catcher with minus armor.
Yeah.
He should be a target, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the Sparrow's a funny one. I mean, like I say, I guess it's because he can move around, and hit things with mighty blow, and obviously strength 4, so he's very dangerous jumping into a cage. I guess that's the reason why. But he does have frenzy, so I mean, I saw him in the final where if he didn't knock the piece down in frenzy, he was actually going to frenzy trap himself into, I think, tentacles or something, if I remember correctly. So you could probably use a frenzy against him, but yeah, like you say, these catchers and even the linemen, they're really scary. He said in chat, I play with fire players more often than not. Fair enough, but I do believe, without being disrespectful to the Challenge League last season, he's stepping up a level now. He's going against a lot of these coaches in this play pool have been playing for a long time and have been at this pro level for a long time as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this amazing Wood Elf team takes on some of these very strong, very strong teams. So that's the other thing. I like that it's got the Wizard Stadium as well. So when he's at home, that's going to make him even more paranoid about the Wood Elves, because I'm thinking, oh my god, when he's going to jump in to take the ball off me? Oh my god, when he's going to use his wizard? So that's all good. And like I say, a lot of these players are really, really good. The only reason I was talking about the bloat as well is because obviously in the play pool yesterday, people was on about Murray's team when he's got all these stat freaks as well, and they were saying, oh, do you really need all these agilities, all these strength ups? Could you have gone for something else? And the question I'm going to ask you, Gio, does he really need 3 agility 5 pieces?
Well, I mean, if those agility 5 pieces do come with leap, and leaping on a 2+ is fantastic. I'm not really sure if he needs to, because he's got 3 rerolls, and whenever I play with a leap piece, I only leap when it's absolutely necessary. But if you've got agility 5, you can just leap at your leisure. I think that those 2 pieces with agility 5, 3 pieces with agility 5 and leap, they're going to be a nightmare for many coaches. I think it is bloat, but at the same time, it is the greatest strength of the team.
Yeah.
Such mobility, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, this team would just score so fun. As long as it doesn't roll ones, you can't really stop this team. Even Nagel with their distemper and all that, they probably wouldn't be able to stop these from scoring. I guess the thing is, when you play a team like this, so in my opinion, it's like, give them the ball, let them score early if you can't stop them, and then just try and beat the living daylights out of them and hopefully take care of enough of them so at the end you can grind a win or try and get a draw against them. I think this team is going to be very competitive in this league, because I can see this team, even if you break this team, they could be 2 up. They could easily score, then get a defense turnover the other way around, and by the, you might end with only 5 players, but you might be 2-3 up by then, and then obviously it's going to be hard to get back in it. I really like this team. Like I said, I love the pieces. I love all about it. I like the sort of the rep Sparrow's got as a rock star, but from other Challenge League coaches. And like you say, the leap in and the agility 5, and he's got wrestle, strip ball, and wrestle, dauntless, and tackle. Yeah. I just love this team. It's a really well built team, and you can see why it won the Challenge League. And he's a very good coach as well. So I think you might have your hands full with this team when you play them. You might get some XP though.
Yeah, man. This is one. But I mean, like, there's so many agility teams in this conference that, my players are really going to have a hard time. And one thing I want to point out, Bernie, as you said, this team has got the wrestle, the strip ball, the tackle. So I think that this team is very strong on defense. Of course, scoring for them is going to be absolutely easy, but they are very well built for the defense. I think they are more dangerous in defense than when attacking, and that's fantastic for any Wood Elf team. So
and
that makes this
this is what I like about this team, because we saw Murray's team yesterday, and I loved his Wood Elves. It was amazing. But one thing that Wood Elf team didn't really have was defensive players to be able to get the ball loose. They can score like this team, no problem. But this team has got both bases covered, and even its Tree Muffin, who again is a big hit with the ladies. He's got jump up as well, so if you knock him down, he's just gonna get back and go, yeah, whatever, mate. You know,
And
it's
that is a nightmare. If both when you're facing halfling teams and wood elf teams, sometimes you can knock the tree down, and you're like, yeah, I knocked the tree down, and he needs like a 4+ to stand up. So there you go, tree, down he goes. But with jump up, he just, man, yeah.
The only good thing I like about jump up, if I'm going against him, is it would stop me having that nasty habit to crowd the tree and try and beat it up. I would now see we would have jump up, but like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I wouldn't even attempt to bother doing it unless you've got maybe Mighty Blow Claw piling on and you really want to go for it. I'd just leave it alone and hope it does what most trees do and take root, I guess. Tripper said just stab the tree, problem solved. It'd have to be a big knife. What do you think? Who do you think is their best matchup in the play pool? Where do you think he's going to get that big win?
Who's going to give them a difficult time? Or
no, an easy time. Who's going to give them an easy time?
Oh, that's my team. That's my team. As I said before, there's so many good coaches and good teams here. And I was looking at Petriti before, and at least Nurgle, they've got tentacles. Tentacles is like the only skill that can stop leaping, right? So that's something that the Nurgle have, but I don't have anything. I mean, like, I do have tons of strength 5 guys, but agility 2, agility 1 all around, because I only have agility 2, agility 1 all around. That is true. I mean, if I can corner them, if I could corner them and beat them, that would be something. But with all that leaping and agility 5, it's going to be very, very hard to pin them down. It's going to be very hard to try to hurt them. And they've got the speed, they've got the agility, they've got the movement. My pharaohs are going to be lost on the beach trying to catch them. I think that's their easiest match.
Is yourself, yeah. I mean, you have got that agility. You've got the agility 4 thrower, but again, this is where the Rockstar Sparrow comes in, because he's strength 4, and he can just jump in, tackle you, and knock you down. That's why I think a lot of people fear him, because the rest of them are like, you know, the agility 5, they are only strength 2. Yeah, they do have Dauntless, but even with Dauntless, it's still going to be a 1 die at best, and that's if the guard ain't in the right place. So you sort of, when you think like that, you can see why Sparrow is feared more than the other big names, I think. I think the thing what might save you is obviously your guard, so you could make the cage sort of safe. But then if you're playing at his ground, if he's got a wizard, it's a bit of a nightmare. I mean, you'll get a little bit of inducements. Do you get that Sinbad who stabs? Do you have Sinbad? He's a their player, is he, or something?
No, I usually get the Chainsaw Man, and I think it's good. Yeah, Chainsaw will make an appearance, but and I think it's logic because he's got a tree. So a Chainsaw and a tree. I mean, the Chainsaw should get a special bonus when he's attacking a tree. Out of pure logic, I would say. But yeah, I will get inducements and try to make the most of them. However, as we pointed out before, that might not be enough, because these guys can score very quickly and can retrieve the ball very quickly as well. So Chainsaw might not be on the pitch for too long. It is going to be tough for the Pharaohs, and I think it's the best matchup for the Wood Chiefers.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with them poor little halflings. Halflings against Wood Elves is a struggle. Halflings against a super-powered Wood Elf team what can take the ball off you, frazzle with a wizard if they've got one, and just basically score for fun, is a nightmare. Yes, he could possibly have a Halfling Chef, and yes, the Halfling Chef could take rerolls off him, not that this Wood Elf team needs them. Yours was obviously another chance he's got, but Clown's obviously saying Blodge isn't that helpful when you're going to be throwing 3 die blocks to you. That's his response to your team. I just think, as great as Torre is, and he has got some good wins. He actually beat the Ubestreak Flamers last season. I think Clown Zombie will be licking his lips. I think Sparrow will have a field day. He'll chop half these halflings in half and take a lovely lot of XP. And I think his Agility 5 catchers will have a field day. And I think if I'm Clown Zombie, you got to worry slightly about halfling shenanigans. But you know what? If that Wood Elf team's got serious aspects of being in the top 2, they've got to beat teams like this. No disrespect to Tora. I think this is a beautiful matchup for the Wood Elves.
The thing is that, as you were pointing out, my slight edge against the Wood Chippers might be the inducements. Look at the TV difference between the halflings and the Wood Elves. Oh, those halflings are going to be happy. Let me tell you, they're going to be so happy about that TV difference. They're going to get so much in inducements that might
it could possibly swing it for them, but it's like what they're gonna get. They could get Zyra, I suppose, the Stabby Girl. I mean, they'll get the Chef. They could get the Tree. If they won't be, he's not going to be scared about the Tree because he moves forward to 2. They could get Morg, but he'll just keep away from Morg. I just think the speed and the firepower on offense and defense for Clown Zombie is just going to be too much, even for this team. I mean, Tori could prove me wrong. He could beat him, but I think if this Wood Elf team was man, this would be a WRB circling. I think, if I'm being honest, this would be one game I think, if I'm going to try and make the playoffs, I can't lose to this team. So we'll soon find out if I completely cursed him or not. What is the worst matchup, though? Which team's going to cause him the most problems, do you think, Gio, out of all the rest of the teams?
Well, I think that, as I mentioned before, the one skill that can cancel out the leaps is Tentacles. And of course, elves also like to pass every now and then to move the ball. So I think Putridi might represent a challenge for the Wood Chippers because of that, and because they can pin them down and they can actually corner them. So I think Putridi might be one tough match for the Wood Chippers.
Yeah, he's got all that disturbing presence, hasn't he? So that'll help.
Yeah, and then the other that might present them with problems is Ran, Rodentia ad nauseam, because that's going to be like a race. Who scores the most touchdowns? And those rats, man, they can be fast. So I think those two might present problems for the Wood Chippers.
NTB's really happy that Nagel's in his play pool, as you said. He wanted more in it by the sounds of it. He'll love that. He's got that 110er, hasn't he? Definitely. I looked at the Rats as a serious bad matchup for them, so I agree with that one. I don't really agree much with the Nagel, because even though they've got disturbing presence, he's agility 5, so he's on a +1 before you take anything into consideration. And even if you got 2 disturbing presence on him, it's only a 3+ with probably the catch built in. Only 1 tentacles. I think, again, with all the speed, he won't have an issue. I tell you one team what could surprise, and that could be Los Pumas. Really, really like the way Disco Devo plays. He's got that Lazy Smith, who hasn't yet been killed, 417 XP, and he just scores. He just scores. He just give him the ball, and he scores. Give him the ball, and he's just amazing. I mean, he was about when he kicked my ass. He just give me the ball, I'll score. Don't worry about it. I know he's the same TV, but you know, I just think they could do all right. They've got they've got a few tackle pieces. Got a mighty blow tackle piece, agility 4. Mr. C, he could maybe beat a few up. But I like this team. I just think, you know, the Rats will be a big danger. And obviously, if they can sneak out a Wizard as well, that'll help them. But I think the good old Los Pumas, former champions as well, maybe they can bloody the nose of the new upstart to the pros. Maybe they can say, look, this is how hard it's going to be. That's a beautiful score. Watch me do the same thing now, and we could have maybe a 5-4, 4-4, 4-3. And this team's got a lot of strength as well. And Leigh Smith's only strength is only AB6, but he's strength 3. So again, oh no, he's lost. Oh, he got -1 strength as well, did he? Oh, bless him. He's in the wars. Yes. Oh dear, but he's still got a smile on his face, bless him. But I don't know. I think Los Pumas can do well. I agree with the Rats being the other team who can go toe to toe with them as well. Although sneakily the slant sees with Joe Froy could be a bit of a sneaky trickster as well. But I'm going to pick the Humans, Los Pumas, to be their worst matchup. So there,
Yeah.
right. So, oh god, I've just gone right out of it. That tells you how good I am. So that's that team done. Oh god, where have they gone now? Let's move on to the next team. What is them lovable little halflings of Tori? And Tori does wonders with these sort of teams. Hopolit, as I'm going to call it. What do you think of these lovable halflings, Gio?
Oh, Bernie, man, I love halflings. I have to confess, I have a soft spot for halflings. I love the team because, I mean, it's a stunty team, and it can pack a punch. No one expects them to punch, but they can punch. And look at those trees, man. I mean, both have got plus movement. So,
Yeah.
like in the previous case of the wood chippers, these trees are not gonna stay down. They're gonna stand up again. And that Leva the Tapsi tree, he's got block, he's got pro. Oh, he's amazing. And then he's got break tackle. Those trees are no, he's got grab, right? Yeah, that's grab.
Yeah.
Both of them have grab. Oh, those trees are amazing. And of course, there's the legend in the making, Polo Carrot.
And the whole of him.
There's yeah, there's actually a contract. Many people have told other people that this halfling should die, Polo Carrot.
Oh, there's a
So
contract.
he's a target. He's a target. There's a killer contract for Polo Carrot, and who knows? Maybe the Pharaohs can claim the prize on this halfling's head.
Wow.
But anyways, yeah, no, yeah, that's like some additional information. But I really love halfling teams because it's not just the team; it's the management of the team. And I love what Tori has done here. It's a very low TV, and he's got 210K in gold, which means that he is trying to guarantee the inducements. He's got the stadium that it's 50K less to hire a star player, so we know that he is going to have star players, and those can make a difference. And then again, he can hire at least 2 star players, so he's gonna have at least 15 players on the team. He can foul, and halflings are good at fouling. He's not gonna have second doubts about that. I really like his team, and I really love halflings. They are always underestimated, and no one should underestimate halflings. Man. Let me tell you that. I think this is a beautiful team.
Yeah, Clown Zombie said he's carrying some gold blow, and he's also very good with inducements. Is Torre? Yeah, I mean his record is amazing. I've looked at his record, and it's very good. He's been some of these big teams as well, like the Rats and that. So that is going to come into play. And like I said, Torre can do this with just about any team. He's a very good coach. Paul Carrot, interesting that there's a bounty on him. I'll have to tell the Cowboys that we could make ourselves some money if we ever get in the pros if we still have. But yeah, Paul Carrot really makes this team dangerous because he's movement 6, agility 4, and he's got sure feet as well. So yeah, he's going to be thrown, and I'm impressed that he hasn't broken himself when they're throwing him. To be fair, but yeah, he certainly does add another string to the bow. Like you said, he's going to get loads of inducements as well. He's got 2 well-developed trees. He can have another tree in inducements if he wishes as well. He'll have the chef. So you'd expect him to do quite well. Which team do you think's the best for him in the play pool, Gio? Which team do you think he's going to get the win against?
I think that actually the best matchup for this halflings is either going to be Petriti or my Pharaohs again. I think my Pharaohs are going to get stomped on this season, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that actually Putridi or my Pharaohs are going to be easy for the halflings. I mean, yes, the Pharaohs do have all that strength five, which means that there's a lot of three die blocks going to be made against the halflings. But the trees and star players can take care of that strength five
Hmm.
and then just control the pitch. And as you said, Tori is good doing that. I mean, you need to be very good at controlling the pitch if you're going to play halflings. And this is a team that's made it into the pros and they've been here, so it's they shouldn't be underestimated. So I'm gonna go with Treaty because Pharaohs do have some agility. I have an agility three piece and then Mortal Kombat with his agility four. He can move around, but I think that Nurgle will have more problems moving around the pitch and controlling it. So I'm gonna go with Putridi for the halflings.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go, and this is a bit contradict. I'm gonna be a bit bizarre. Pick this probably because obviously I said the wood chippers should give him a beating, but I think his best matchup is against the Violent Suns, the High Elf team. What I usually wouldn't say, but they're a high TV for what they've got. I mean, 1950. They do have the thing. What I'd be scared of is number three. He obviously agility six leaper, but he hasn't got
Uh-huh.
tackle or anything like that. Arcturus, number four, is dangerous, but he's only agility three now, so you might be able to do something with him. And although it's not a bad team, I'm just thinking someone like Turek could, weave his magic against a team like this, because you'd be getting a lot of inducements over 600. I just got a feeling,
Yeah.
and if I'm the Flings, I'm thinking, you know what? If I can just manage it and manage number three and possibly number four. They haven't got much else here. What scares me. So yeah, I think Tori his best matchup is the Violent Sons and Professor X.
Yeah, that could be
Right.
true. If he manages to break enough armors on the
Yeah.
Violent Suns, yeah,
There's just a
yeah.
couple of key plays he's got to keep in check, and if he can do that, I'd be confident he can get a positive result out of it, at least a draw. So that's what I'm going to go with that. Who do you think's the worst matchup for these poor little halflings? Who do you think's going to absolutely snap them?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I think that the bad boys of the conference of the division are going to have to be Los Pumas because I think that
Hmm.
that team does have enough tackle and strength and movement and yeah, well, I mean, like, yeah, Los Pumas are going to be very tough for them.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
do have enough guard to face the tree. They have the additional strength on some of the catchers. It's a very well-rounded team. I think that Los Pumas are going to be their worst matchup.
yeah. I can see why. I mean, he can 110 just as good as the Flings can as well. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
See, I would have, I would have been tempted with Redentia, but it does put me off that they lost to the Flings last season, um,
Uh-huh.
2-1. Now it could have been a Dyson, I don't know, but that really puts me off. Um, because he's got a movement 10 and he's got two mighty blow tackle pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna say NTB, get it sorted. You should be beating these Flings. That's what I'm gonna say. You got two killers there who should be doing their job, and you've got number five, Ziz Sprint Dash, who should be scoring for fun. And you've got a Ratoge who's got block, stand firm, break tackle. You've got a kicker. Yeah, this team should be doing better, and it's got a strength three wrestle leaping piece as well. So yeah, I think NTB's team got to get themselves sorted, and they've got to beat these Flings this season because really this should be a bad matchup for them. So I'm going to go with them. NTB says, if I remember, not a dicing, but didn't get the injuries. I think right this season you're going to get them. You're going to beat him this season, NTB, because I said so. I'm never wrong, honestly. Also, I think Ziz was from you. From me? Was from you about me? I never. Is it yours, Stuart? I don't think it's mine, is it? Is this Sprint Dash? Really? Wow. I don't know. I don't even know my players. I'm too old. I can't remember that far back. That would be crazy if it is. See, there you go. You see, I'm going to take it. You see, that best player you've got, it came from Bernie's quality stock. Quality stock I give out. You know, all the players I sell, they're all quality. Yeah, I remember him so well, so well. Definitely my kind of naming convention, though. To be fair, but he says a long time ago, and he's still alive. So there you go. You see, I'll take credit if you ever win a ball or something. Yes, I want halves. But I think this season. And it's funny, isn't it, when you play Blood Bowl, you can play a guy twice, team twice. Once you'll win, once you lose. Just different things can go wrong, can't they? I'll be keeping an eye on this sprint dash. Now he said he used to be mine. He'll probably die. Right, okay. So I'm going to go with the Rats, but I think Torre's got no issues. I think he'll be punching above his weight, and he'll be getting victories this season for sure. Whichever ones, I don't know. Yeah, I've seen the details. I'll be reading them out NTB when we get to your team, and I've also got details from Los Pumas as well. This was from MGit. There you go. More shots took. So you got me excited there, NTB. I was trying to claim it was my rat, and now more shots has come in and blown that away and said it was MGit. Cheers, more shots. I was getting myself a bit of cut in there. I could have got myself 10%. Who needs enemies when you got friends like that here? Tell ya. I didn't think it was man. I thought, oh, bit of glory. Taken away from me cruelly. Right, next team then. Who are we looking at now? I know NTB. I know. I feel gutted now. I thought I had a hero in the pros. Right then, the next one, the lovable smiling assassin himself, the Slanciers, Josiah Frost. With his Kislev. I remembered him back in the day with them wonderful lizards, but no, he's now these jumping jacks, the lovely Kislev. 1930 TV, 10 players. Gio, what do you think about this team?
Oh man, this is a legendary team, a legendary coach. Joe Fro, the nicest guy in the MML. This is a very well-rounded team. What I really like about the Slanciers is that you don't have one superstar, a rock star. This is a team. It's a team effort. I really like the plus strength on those two linos. The catchers, they work together with the dump off. Oh man, this is one of the teams I like the most because of that one particular thing. It works as a team.
Yeah. And that's it, isn't it? You see a lot of these teams where they rely heavily on one or two players, but you know the best teams usually have got a good solid base of like 5-6 players who can all do the job. And again, like he's got some really nice players here as well. Very, very good coach. And you're not safe against this team. This team can jump in from anywhere and take the ball off you. So looks good, and like you say, the strength up onto lineman's good. He's got a lot of guard in there as well, so you can jump in and get that into the cage. I've never been a fan of a bear on a Kislev team. I don't think nobody will ever make me change my mind. I just think it's bloat. But I know a lot of people like the bears. It's just I don't. I'm just thinking 270k for a bear. I could get a really nice piece for 270k. But then people say he's a nice.
I mean that one bear. I mean, he's got block, he's got tackle, he's got pro.
He is
nice.
He's a nice bear, and I do like.
As you said,
that
all that guard in the team. I mean, he's got how many? 7 pieces with guard out of the 10 players. That's gonna help the bear roll some 3 dice, and that's gonna make him even deadlier. So
he's got pro as well. While
bear, yeah, he's got pro, and he's got the prehensile chain because I don't think it's a tail. So that's a plus. I think that I'm not a big fan of bears on Croxy bears on slant teams, but this one bear he makes the cut. I think this one is.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. It's like with any big guy, I'm not a fan of them, but you know what? If you can give me a big guy like this, where he's got, like say, he's got pro, he's got block, he's got break tackle, he's got tackle, and he's got guard, what's really important, and mighty blow, then you sort of say, you know what, he's too good not to have in the team. It is a lot of TV 270, but you are getting a quality bear for that, aren't you? And I'm sure he's been a superstar in the pros as well. But yeah, high TV. But Kislev seemed to have a nasty habit of being a high TV team. Obviously, he's going to be carrying a loan as well, so he's going to be rocking 1990, like a lot of these teams, quite high in TV. Who do you think is his best matchup? Where do you think the big W is coming from? Who is his best chance of getting a win from? Do you think?
I think that these guys are gonna probably have a good matchup. I would say against the High Elves. I really
Mm-hmm.
think that this team can do a number on the High Elves, especially because of all the guard
Yeah.
and all the movement he's got. I mean, he's just gonna move around the pitch and control it completely. I think that this is going to be the best matchup for this Lancers. Yes, the Violent Suns.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of agree with that to a certain extent because so much guard. Um, just trying to think if there's anything else what I think might be better.
Yeah, the Bengal Pharaohs as well, because I said it already. I
Nope.
mean, that's going to be difficult. This whole conference is going to be very difficult for the Pharaohs. We
Mm,
have teams that can move around the pitch very, very easily, and we need to catch up with them, and we need to pin them down.
yeah.
But you cannot pin down Slan. They jump all over the
Yeah.
place and get away. So it's going to be tough for the Pharaohs as well.
Yeah. I think the Bengal Pharaohs are probably their best matchup, just because
Uh-huh.
if you can get rid of Mortal Kombat, they're in trouble. And you can
Yeah.
cage up, and you've got a lot of guard on your Tomb Guardians, but he can just jump all over the place. He's got guard catchers who can just jump in on a 2+ to get the assist. And although he's agility 4, he's only strength 3. So if your guard's wrong and his guard's right, I can see the ball coming loose. And if that bounces somewhere where your Mortal Kombat isn't, trying to pick the ball up is going to be a bit tricky. I think it's a tough match for you. I think you can certainly get some out of it, but I think if you're the Kislev, you'd fancy chances against these. I'll pick these because I think with the Elves, I agree with you what you said about the Elves, but the thing with the Elves is the Elves can score quick, where I don't think your team can. So he's going to have more time to get that dastardly plan ready to spring on you than he would against the Elves. So I'll go with that. Who do you think's the worst matchup for the Slancies? Who do you think's going to be the team what might might beat them?
Again, I think that's either gotta be Los Pumas or those are the bad guys. I mean, like there's three bad guys in this conference
Mm-hmm.
because the rest of the teams are very agility inclined. Uh, but I think that this time around, yes, without the agility, but he does have some agility. I'm gonna go with Petridi again. I think that II Brazil, he's gonna pack some surprises. Tentacles is always the enemy for leaping, and even if you've got more agility, that's rolling more dice.
Yeah.
It Disturbing presence limits the passes you can have, the moving around of the ball. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Petridi again.
All right. I've got. It's quite funny because a lot of the time when I do the good matchups, the bad matchups, a lot of time I'm scratching my head. This was what was a no-brainer to me. This was like what I would call a triple B banker, what basically is my best prediction in the full thing. And I think the worst matchup for these are the Rats. I think the Rats are so well in here because the Rats are going to be like, oh yeah, you can get the ball, but guess what? I'm going to give it to my one turner. And he's just going to score. So you're not even going to get the chance to get crash me. And you know what? You've only got 10 players in the loner. So you know what my killers are going to do? They're going to chomp, 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 chomp every turn until you've only got about 5-6 players left. Then I might take my time and score a few more. Kislev will score back as well, but I think with the firepower that the Rats have got in number 1 and number 2, they really should be getting rid of a few of these players. He's obviously a Rat, so Data Rat can foul as well. He's got the Frenzy and the Rat Ogre, and he's got number 5, Ziz Sprint Dash / not Bernie's bloody Rat. It's bloody MTGs, but still, I'm not bitter at all, more shots, at all. That could have been my dream. But but I just think this team, oh man, I'm like, this team has got the tools to make the Kislev cry because they shouldn't be able to get the ball off them because Ziz Sprint Dash will just score before they have the chance. and the top two really should be making mincemeat out of the Kislev. So I'm really confident that Rodentia Ad Nauseam will get the win. And yeah, I'm going to go with them. Right, final team of the conference then is... Let me have a look. Hope I got this wrong. Oh, it's them dirty rats. Dirty rats of NCB. Rodentia Ad Nauseam. Now, he did send me some stuff, so bear with me while I go to my PC.
All right.
And get this information. Right, okay. Right, here it is. RAN is the oldest consecutive pro team in the league. CL Season 3, then Pros S4 all the way. Finally gets to renew old firm rivalry with LOS Pumas this season. Pumas' oldest consecutive team across both leagues. They went down to CL for a bit. We believe it's the most played rivalry. Currently 5-3 to the Pumas with 2 draws and 30-27 on touchdowns. Also, RAN finally have a 1-turner again this season, but we are in rebuilding phase as Kid Twist is going to retire any game now. Han and Cutter retired. We don't know where Han has gone. So possibly Han has been, maybe, I don't know, he's been kept hostage by, let's say, Serious Jess because he killed Shawn Michaels. Possibly could be the reason. Maybe, he deserved it. So yeah, I mean, and the Los Pumas did send me something about this big rivalry. They've played each other all the time, so this is a proper rivalry between two of the pros. So that I cannot wait to see. So and obviously the probably said here is as well is like one of his guys is, he's going to be trying anytime soon. That's a big problem, and that's one of his killers. Number 2. He's saying he's going to be retiring soon. That's got to be a huge concern because if you take him out the team, then that's a big hole to like fill. I don't think you can fill it this season. So so NTB is going to obviously try his best to win as many as he has, but he's saying, look guys, this is going to be a rebuilding phase, and I just hope Kid Twist lasts a bit longer during the season. I think if by some miracle he gets to the end of the season, he's still there, maybe he'll maybe replace him for another killer. I don't know, but I still think it's a good team. Gio, what do you like about this team?
I like absolutely everything because I know it's going to be one of the toughest teams of the conference. As you pointed out, Kid Twist is a crazy good storm vermin. He slices, he dices, he does the dishes, he makes the bed, he does everything, man. He's got the strength 4, the frenzy, the horns. He can take on anyone, and anyone who tries to take on him is going to regret it. He does have that agility minus, but he doesn't care because he's got strength 4 and break tackle, so he can get where he wants to. That's a beautiful piece, Kid Twist. He truly is. He's the one-turner, so if the other team scores, he just doesn't care. He scores next turn, and that's it. But as you pointed out, I think that the one weakness of this team is that he's got 2 or 3 superstar players, and I mean those stand out, and it's not really a team. The rest of the team is not as strong, I would say. I think that's the one weakness of the RAN, Rodentia Ad Nauseam. It could go down if he loses some of the pieces on the pitch.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, obviously, Kid Twist, that's a big concern. I mean, number 1's still pretty good though, but he's only armor 7. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go this season. It'll be interesting to see when number 2 pulls the plug and says, "You know what, guys, I've had enough. I'm going before I get killed." So yeah, interesting. Who do you think's the best matchup then for the Rats? Who do you think they can pick on?
Well, I think that's got to be probably the Halflings. Yeah, they should pull a number on the Halflings. They can move around. They can choose their target. With horns and strength 4, Kid Twist can 3 dice most of the Halflings.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a that's gonna be one. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's got to be.
it's difficult because I'm going to go with the Slancies, like I said just before, so I'm not going to repeat myself too much. My only concern is when that killer goes, because that killer goes before he plays the Slancies, then all bets are off. Sort of thing. I won't be as confident. Um, like I said, I think he really should get the win against the Flings this season. But again, if that killer goes, then it changes things a bit. But I'm going to go with the Slancies style. I think the team's built to beat them. So and with the one turner, it really. The only thing what would worry me is if NTB got too cute and started trying to stall with the Rats and say, oh yeah, we'll try and protect the team instead of scoring. I'd be trying to get Josiah into a shootout. And then if Josiah decides, I'm going to slow play it, then I'd be getting my killers picking off these guards in the open and get the numbers down. And if you play it like that, as long as you don't roll bucket one, you should be at least getting a draw out that game. So I'm going to say the best matchup is the Slancies, although you never know with that sneaky draw throw. What's the worst matchup for these lovable Rats then? Who's going to make him cry?
I want to make him cry. I think the Bengal Pharaohs should make them cry, and we should make someone cry, and I think that we could try to make the Rats cry. I mean, he does have the movement to score very often, but we do have the strength to break those armors. And if we break enough armors, then the scales might turn, So I think that we've actually got a shot at trying to break the Rats. And that's the main weakness of any Skaven team. If they lose too many players, then it gets tougher for them. So for this one time, I think that the Bengal Pharaohs might have a shot.
Right. I'm going to be a bit ballsy. I'm going to be a bit brave. I'm going to go with the wood chippers because the wood chippers, they've just got too many weapons. They've got the rock star, and I'm going to keep calling him the rock star. The Sparrow, his strength 4 mighty blow piece. He's going to be slapping a few of these Rats about, and if he tries to stall it, well, take your pick who's going to get the ball off that gut runner. Number 2 may fancy it. Number 3 may fancy it. Even number 5 might just do it for the giggles, the thrower. And he's even got Bug leaping on a 3+ with tackle, strength 3. He's got so much firepower. He's got the muffin tree there who can hold the line. Yes, he could use his claw if he wants to waste a lot to try and knock him down, I guess. But I just think the wood chippers have got all the weapons, and I think, like with the Kislev as well, I think, how can I put it? I think the Rats are going to be forced to score quicker than they need to. Where I think it's a good idea against Kislev, against this team, I think it's not a great idea, but he's going to have to, because if he doesn't, he's going to lose the ball. I just think the wood chippers are so good on defense. I can see a good show out, and if he gets the dice, he could beat the wood chippers. But I just don't think he'll enjoy playing this team. Not many teams will. With his strength 2 ball carriers, it makes him more open to everything. And even if you go in standard cage, this guy's leaping on a 2+ anyway. So, it's going to be a nightmare for them. And I think the chippers will. Long as Sparrow doesn't get too cocky, I think the wood chippers can get it done. I think against NTB. So that is the first conference of the play pool done. I think it's safe to say 4 amazingly good teams, and any of them 4 will have great chances of making the playoffs this season. Now we go to Geo's conference, and the first team we are going to have a look is. Let's have a look. It's a nasty Nagel, the Patrides. Yes, not a 4 horseman though, but he is Nagel. Just put that in there before we get hit. Patridi then. Brazov 81. The name rings a bell. I think I may have played him before. My apologies. My memory's not as good as it used to be. What do you think about this team then, Gio?
I think it's a nice team. I mean, again, that beast. I love the Nurgle beast. It's one of my favorite big guys because once you get him into the position where he has to be, you can just leave him there, and he's doing his job. He's hugging the opposition.
Hmm.
He's being tender with them. So I really like the Beast. It does have one Mighty Blow Claw Nurgle Warrior, and
Hmm.
he is going to be a nightmare, especially for my Theros, I would say, because
Yeah.
Claw is a nightmare, and for the trees perhaps as well. There is a lot of block on the team, and there is that one Pestigore with Blood, Sure Hands, and plus agility. He's a great strength on the team. I think that P. Grar,
Yeah.
Pi Grar, he's the soul of this team. He's the one that will be scoring the touchdowns. Again, after the Beast, I think that this team's greatest strength is that it works as a team. It functions as a team. Everyone is there to perform his job, and they can do it very, very well. That
Hmm.
plus movement, Pestigore, Lafagor, he's very nice too. He's got guard. He can take that guard to the right place. The one
Yeah.
thing I don't like about this team is maybe that one point, not enough guard.
Yeah.
I think he should have some more.
Yeah. NTB, not a problem, mate. Pleasure as always. Yeah. I mean, when I looked at this team, there was a couple of things. Where's the guard? There isn't any really, so that's always a concern. If you haven't got enough guard, then you must have the firepower. He doesn't have that either, really. I mean, it's not bad, 3 Mighty Blow, but his killer is a Nurgle Warrior, and they move 4. So Gut Runners and Wood Elf are like, yeah, okay, you look scary in the middle. We're just going to go this way. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll quite happily have a Nurgle Warrior killer, but you really want a Pestigore killer who has the movement to go hunting with Tackle and Mighty Blow and Claw, maybe Parlin if he wants Parlin. I always figure the Pestigores, although the weaker, or obviously when someone hits them, they're a lot better as killers because of the movement, and they could hunt the weaker, like Gutter Runners and stuff like that. They can make a right mess of them. So it'd be interesting to see, because number 2 will be expected to carry the load in the attrition department for sure. I like number 6. He's a really nice Pestigore, and he can certainly, with a few more skills, be an amazing superstar in this division. Jump up on the Pestigore. Well, that to me is probably going to have to be ball carrier. What it's not going to be now, because obviously the agility 4 guy. So you've got to make him into a killer to get the proper value out of a jump up, I think, for Nurgle, in my humble opinion. Lafagor's alright, but again, he needs block pretty quick. Or will he go wrestle and tackle, but then he's got guard, so wrestle and guard, never usually a good thing. I think this team basically still trying to get an identity into what they want to be. And it'll take a bit of time. Nurgle, I mean, I definitely know how long it takes to get these Nurgle teams where they are. But I think if you can just, maybe consolidate this season, don't lose anything big, and then bring in another quality addition next season, they'll do all right. It's a good starting base, this team. It really is. I would have just liked that killer on a Pestigore, and I would have loved a lot more guard. Luckily, this division is probably going to get away with it, because there's not as many physical teams, apart from obviously like yours. There's not really that many physical teams. A lot of them are like quite low strength, like the Pumas and obviously the Rats and the Wood Elves and stuff like that. So he may get away with this season, but that's something he's going to have to rectify, is getting guard, because Bash teams still need guard. So that's what I would say. He's got 3 rerolls. The TV value was alright, 1890, not bad. Beasts are alright. I'm probably one of the very few people who isn't super happy with Beasts. I think they're a lot of TV for what they are, and I just don't like unreliable stuff. That's the problem with me. But I know my fellow 4 horsemen all love the Beast, so and it's a decent Beast as well. But I do think this is in like, where NTB said he thinks his team's in a transition stage. I think this team is in that as well. I think it needs another season or 2 to really develop into a genuine playoff contender, I think, personally. So that.
One more thing,
Yep.
Bernie. this team has got 13 players. So
Yep.
I think that also those rotters are the real killers because I think that this team is gonna try to break the armors when the opposition is on the ground.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be something.
Yeah, but again,
I can see that.
yeah. I mean, but again, no depth player in the team, so you know what I mean. He's lacking that as well. So yeah, I agree. You'd be stamping with them. That's fine. But again, he hasn't got a proper stamper to stamp them. So this is what I'm saying. It's still a long way to go. He's still got too many holes. And a lot of Nagel teams. I mean, my team's got so many holes in it. It's like cheese. With these sort of teams, there's always something else you want. But yeah, if you're going to go down the stamp route, you've got to have a data player. I like that he's got none of his TV wasted in the rotters. So that's always good. Rotters always seem to die. Number 4 is a bit of a weakness. He needs to get him at least block. I might even be tempted to go guard with him first, number 4, just because he has no guard. Tackle wise, he's not too bad. He's got 3, but again, 2 of the tackler on his slow moving Nagel warriors. You know, the problem with that is a lot of the speed blodgers are going to be out the backfield going down the side, and the problem is these warriors are only moving 4, so they're going to get screened off a lot and chasing tails. He needs more. I think he needs more pestigos with tackle than anything else. Maybe I'm being harsh, I don't know, but I'm just trying to talk through the experience I've had with Nagel. It feels like he's putting a lot of the skills on the warriors he should be putting on
Yeah.
you know, do you know what I mean? But we'll see. I hope he does well. He's a Nagel. I'm going to be cheering him on. He's a Nagel coach, but I'm just trying to give a bit of constructive criticism and like maybe, you know, try and build up them pestigos now and try and get some more guard. If he does, this team could be really good. You know, it could be really, really good. And I think it's good enough to stay up for sure. I mean, I think he'll get some wins. But I think, like NTB, just keep building. You know, keep your patience with them. And I'm sure in the long run, you'll do well. And like I said, I think yesterday to somebody, you know, just take your time. Because I think someone said, oh, yeah, I need this. And I said, look, the Misfits have just won a championship, but look how long it took them to win it. He never worried it beers. He just gradually, you know, added pieces to that team, and look how amazing that team is now. And he's still adding players. So it's a league. So you know don't expect against all these great coaches just to rock up and win it, because you're not. You've just got to keep adding and adding and adding, and eventually, if you get a nice, well-rounded team, you'll do well, and I think that's what he's got to do with his team. I think, and you know, I hope he does well. I hope he does well this season. What do you think's his best matchup?
Well, I've said it before. I think there's a couple. I mean, actually, I do have faith in Nurgle, and there's like 2 bastions in this conference. So I'm gonna go with the Slant Seers, because I think that, for real, man, that beast is nice, and I think that Tentacles are going to do a number. They're going to force the Slant to roll more dice, and that's going to be the downfall of the Slant Seers this season. So just because of that, I'm gonna say the Slant Seers, Butchery can do the number, and they've got the warrior with Mighty Blow and Claw, who can take care of that bear. So yeah.
The only concern I have against him going against the Slant Seas is look at the guard on the Slant Seas. It's crazy. They've got like 7 guard, and they can jump in and go, "That's a nice ball. I'm taking that," because you haven't got the guard to protect it. It's Jofro. I hate playing against Jofro. He's such a scary guy to play against. But yeah, it's a valid point. I think, for me, best matchup. I'm gonna pick on the elves. I'm gonna pick on the high elves. I think they've got just because I think the Valencians have only got a few players they rely on, and I think get rid of number 3, and there's not really much to worry about. He hasn't got the guard to worry him. He has no guard. I'm not saying I'd be really confident that he would beat the Valencians, but I do think it's his best matchup. I think he's got a lot in his favour, and I think if he can just keep the couple of like the number 2 and 5, 2, 3, and 5 quiet, he'll have a good chance there, and he'll even have enough cash for maybe a babe or so. So all good, I think, there. What's the worst matchup, do you think, for these Nurgle?
The worst matchup. Yeah. Oof. As you said, all the agility in this conference makes it very, very difficult for both Bash teams. I'm gonna go this time uh, with the rats, as you said. Yeah, because
Ooh,
the rats can
rats.
just move around them. Yeah, because rats will not be throwing the ball so much, just running it. And I think that they're not prepared to do that, to face that, to really pin them down. So yeah, I'll go with Ran as the worst matchup for Treaty.
No, I'm... Oof. Oh, oh God, this is tricky for me because I sort of want to say that
It's tricky for everyone.
I know. I'm not as professional as you. Like, you'll just go, right, I'm going to go with that, and that's it. And my brain's like, oh, well, which one? I'm so indecisive because I really want to say that. I really want to say the Pharaohs with all that strength. But then I can see the wood chippers knocking up a right score against them, with all that agility 5 and laughing at them. Do you know what? I'm going to give some love to Geo. I think Geo knows. Get rid of that claw piece, and we're going to bully him like you'd bully your little brother. Say, that's my ball, my sweet, I'm taking it, and you're not going to get it. All that lovely guard. Geo's going to show him why guard is important. 4 strength 5 guard pieces with mighty blow. Break tackle to crash into a cage and just move him around. He's got his ball handler. He's got a backup ball handler. He's got Billy Mick, who's going to just slap a few of them about as well. So yes, I think, as long as they can keep that colour quiet, this team will put their head into the mud and push it so hard that it'll come off. So no pressure, Gio. No pressure at all.
Okay,
so yeah.
okay, thank you, Bernie. Thank you. You're so kind. Yes.
I think I am, aren't I? I think I'm too kind. So, you know, if your team's in the Goblin Gambling thing, I'm all in, baby. It's all them chips are going in. All them in it. I'm gonna give you a secret now for the people who are going in the Goblin Gambling. What's an amazing thing Gio runs is, if these Bengal Pharaohs go against the Nurgle, I am going to give you the correct score right now. I am that kind. It will be that Nurgle 0, the Bengal Pharaohs 2. 2-0 to the Pharaohs. That will happen. Because if it doesn't, blame Gio, because my prediction's never wrong. 2-0 to the Pharaohs. 2-0. If you're going to score a third one, Gio, done. 2-0, mate. You're allowed 2. No more. And don't let him score. Right, good. So there you go. I'm confident now. I'm real confident now. You know, yeah. Pharaohs, definitely the worst matchup. And yo, bro. I think, have we done Professor? We haven't done Professor's team yet, have we? I don't think. No, you are a lucky man. We get to still do yours in a couple of teams' time. So that we've done the good matches and we've done the bad matches, haven't we? For that team. Yeah. I ramble a lot and then forget what I've said. Never good when you get to my age, guys. Right then, so next team then. It is one of the teams I love more than all the rest of them. It's Los Pumas and Disco Devo. I like this team. I like Smurf. I'm surprised he's still alive. Don't make me have to come and kill him, Gio. Get it done. Because when I played him, Smurf kicked my ass all over the place, and I have nightmares still. So do me a favor and kill it with fire. Do whatever you need to do, or take it hostage. Just kidnap it. I don't want to see it if I ever make the pros. He scares me. He really does. The Los Pumas. Now, before we forget, I'm going to go and see, because he did mention something regarding his rivalry with NTB. And yeah, I like Bro. Bro's saying death to the lazy Smurf. Yeah, I like Bro. Good lad. Let's see what he said about this. Disco Davo, what did he say? Right, all the way up here. Hi, Bernie. I've done his sexy voice. Not sure when you are previewing the SCC/WFC division. Well, we're doing it right now. But thought I'd point out the longest running rivalry in the MML is making its long-awaited comeback this season. The Los Pumas versus those dirty rats of the Ran. The record is 5-3 to the Pumas with 2 draws. Las Pumas is outscoring those dirty rats 30-27. They will be blood. Alright, he didn't say that, but I thought I'd say that because it sounds more exciting. So that there will be blood. They will be death. The Smurfs gotta get an hat-trick against them. So I can't wait for this rivalry. And this is what I love about the leagues, especially when you have teams that have been going at it for so long. Pumas versus, it's like, I don't know, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Baltimore Ravens, the Man United versus the Man Cities. You know, the teams really don't like each other. They're going to just get down dirty and stamp and kill and break each other and score. It's perfect. I love it. I love it. But enough of my excitement with the rivalry. It is poetry. Death is poetry, isn't it? It is now. What do you think about the Los Pumas, Gio?
Oh, Bernie, I faced Los Pumas before. And I would have taken care of Lazy Smurf. But quite unfortunately, he was missing that one match against me. So I did not have to face. I couldn't lay my hands on that Smurf. But still, those Pumas did a number on the Pharaohs. They actually they beat us 3-0. So this is one very, very, very good team, and I think that the greatest strength of this team, it's the fluff. Really, the background history that imbues the players with the energy, and they know it's a duty that they have to win, that they have to give their best on the pitch. I've seen them do it. I've seen them because when I play them, I have absolute control of the pitch during 13 turns of the match. But those 3 turns that I was a bit slacky, he took advantage of that and scored a touchdown. So, this is a beautiful team. It's got a lot of background history. The coach really does know what he's doing. And yes, I mean, the fans, the story behind it, it makes it even more beautiful, more powerful because it's Los Pumas we're talking about. Los Pumas.
I mean, it's even got a great cool name as well, hasn't it? The Los Pumas. Oh, Pumas. You know, I love the name. I just love everything about this team. Davo is actually saying that NTB gave the injury to Lazy Smith. Was that the -1 strength or AV down, or did he do both? Wouldn't surprise me with those dead rats, though. To be fair, he plays these really well. I'm a big fan of Disco Davo. And this team, it's one of those teams I'll quite happily cheer on every season. And the humans, so I feel like, you know, the humans, we've got to cheer on our own race, surely, you know, got to. Although I do hope Lazy Smith just dies a horrible death because I have nightmares over that player. I'm sorry. I hope he dies going maybe for a GFI score and dies. But while he dies, the ball bounces to the guy next to him and he catches it and you still win the game. So, you know, pleasure and pain at the same time. You know, I'll let you have that. But yeah, I love this. I'd say what's amazing though, when is he going to retire? We're on about him dying. Surely he must be ready for his pension. Surely Lazy. I mean, how many games has Lazy Smith played? Can we find out? Let's have a look. Does it tell you how many games he's played? 88 matches. God, he's all right. So he's. Wow, I would have thought he'd been playing for a lot longer than that. But okay, 88 matches, fair dues. He's still going to be around for a bit. Maybe that nasty NTB will come back when he plays. He might finish what he started. Maybe does what he does to all them superstars, stamp on them and kill them. But I can't wait. It's one of all the games in this play pool. The one I want to see is the Pumas versus Ran, and if I can stream it, I so want to because it's going to be awesome. What do you think is a good matchup for the Los Pumas? Who do you think they're going to get the big W over?
Oh man, those Pumas! As I told you, I've seen them play. I've faced them. I think that it's definitely one of the strong ones in the conference, in the division. And I also think, as we were pointing out before, that he might be able to face and put a stop to the CL champions. I think that he's gonna put a lot of effort, an extra effort, walk the extra mile, and just because of that, I think that Los Pumas are going to destroy the wood chippers.
Ooh, going to destroy them. Big words.
Yes, destroy them.
Destroy them. Sparrow is going to be the bed, but isn't going to be squeaking anymore. But he will be squeaking when he grabs his hands around its throat. But, well, there you go. Don't let him down, Davo. He's saying you're going to destroy the wood chippers. I can dig
there's
that.
like a story there. There's a story there, like the one of the teams that's been in the pros for the longest time, and handing the first defeat to the new guy. I think there's an epic story in the building there.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm gonna go with the wood chippers.
Yeah, I can see that. But I ain't as brave as you. I just see them chippers and it just screams firepower on offense and defense. And I'm gonna go. Oh God, I hate this. I've got two teams to pick. I'm gonna go with Professor X's violent sons, who may be dead sons by the end of this. I think the Pumas have the firepower to slap them about and outscore them. And I think the violent sons have still got. They'll still be having nightmares from the playoffs when they got a kick in. And they don't want Pumas first up. I think the Pumas have got the firepower to take care of the High Elves. And it's very similar TV as well. Like we said, they've got 2 or 3 nice pieces of the Violent Sons. But again, I think if he can keep them quiet and score, he'll get it done. Oh, Jester's here. Ben and Gio too sexy. Yeah, well, we did sort of say we tried to get Harley in, but she was too busy. What can I say?
No.
We tried, but yeah.
Yes, we couldn't get her to come.
we did try. She was too busy, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that the Violent Sons will struggle to go toe to toe with Laser Smith and Co. So yeah, I think the Lost Pumas will really fancy the chances against Violent Sons. What do you think is the worst matchup though for the Pumas? Which team do you think is the team he's going to be worried about?
I'm gonna go with Rand because that's the rivalry. That's the match everyone is expecting. There's a lot in stake. Both teams will try to win. Legendary teams, legendary coaches, a lot of pressure there. So that's gonna be the toughest. It has got to be the toughest, and it's going to be beautiful. And we're all going to be watching, and we're all going to be rooting for Smurf to die and Twist Twist to die, and we want to see those legends fall. And that's why I'm going to say Ran.
In short, he just wants death. So yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that. Worst case scenario for the Pumas. I would have said the Chippers if they had a bench. I don't want to say Redentia because I think the Pumas I think they're a bit better than the Nosy. I'm going to put a bit of shade in the Rats there. I think the Pumas are a better team than the Rats. So that means the Rats will probably win. I've said that now. Do you know the team I think might give them a go? I think them Bengal Pharaohs might be the worst matchup. I think your team could, if that 110 fails or he decides not to do the 110, I think your team's strong enough to be able to say, you know what, long as your positioning's right, Gio, I think these humans will have a problem going around you. And again, and if they 110, you could then ground it and get a score. And then obviously rinse and repeat second half. I think these Khemri could be a problem, and you'll have 200 in inducements as well. So I think you will rely on Smurf, and obviously Smurf could get it done. But even then, I'd still be confident that you could get probably a draw out of this. And with the inducements, maybe Wizard or something, you could even frazzle Smurf with his AV6. I don't know, but Davo thinks the Nagel make him. I mean. I don't know. I'm not. I think the Nagel are not a finished article. That's why I think I'm not really saying the worst matchup. I think Gio and yourself really rate them Nagel. Maybe it's because I play so much Nagel and I've seen so much Nagel, and I've just got a feeling that Nagel isn't there yet. I don't think it's there yet, and I think the Davos, I think the Pumas can work around them, picking off them because they haven't got the guard. Where Gio's team has the guard and they got strength 5. I think long as Gio positions it right, I think the Pumas have got a major issue against them. I really do. So I'm gonna stick with the Pharaohs. I'm gonna give the Pharaohs and the Kemi some love, and I think Gio will make it awkward for Davo. It could be a draw. It could be something like 1-1, 2-2. But I do believe the Pharaohs will get something out of it. I don't think the Pumas will beat them this season. So that's my prediction, I think.
Oh, Bernie, you are putting a lot of pressure on my boys now. I mean, like,
Well, you know, it's good coach, man. Good coach. I played you. You're a good coach. You know, you position well. You position well. So I see that all that wall of strength, and you got your ball players, and you got some inducements. Could even get a wizard. No, I think you've got a really, really good chance against the Pumas. It's just that Smurf I'd be worried about. But again, you know, we've said about the violence, where I'm saying, well, you know, you stop 3 of their players. You know, it's the same for the Pumas, isn't it? You know, you stop Smurf. They're not as good without Smurfy there. I'm not saying he can't still beat you, but I don't know. I really got a good feeling that you will not lose to the Pumas this season. So I am putting that as a statement. I'm putting it in bold. The Pharaohs will not lose to the Pumas this season. Fact. Underlined. Whatever else you want. So no pressure, Gio. No pressure.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, man.
And if I end up streaming that game, I'll be and you're losing, I'll be sorry. Technical errors. Internet stopped working, and then they won't know. It never happened. But I think yeah, you're the worst matchup. Right, we've done the good matchups. We've done the worst matchups. We're on to the next team, aren't we? I do believe we're only 2 teams to go. I think. I remember correctly. Oh, now then, we're going to the Violent Sons, Professor X, who was very unlucky in the playoffs because his team got beaten by a nasty Nagel team, if I remember correctly. I think it was the team what made the final of the challenge for the cuddly ones. The ones who were really nice, but they decided not to be nice against the elves. Don't know why, but hey. Violent Sons have got some nice players, especially number 3, number 2. And number 4 I quite like. I think they're all pretty nice pieces, and he's got a nice speedy catcher. Gio, what do you think about this team?
I think that this team is true to its name. I mean, there's many players that want to be stars, and they want to be violent stars, which is a bit strange because they're elves. But these elves, they look like they want to pick up a fight. Professor X has done a wonderful job at building his team, I think. Well, at least at building stars, you know. Centauri, oof, that agility 6 is just sick. It's just, wow. I think he's a great combination, both with Draconis, the thrower, and with just any of the catchers. This team is going to be the one who's going to be trying to pass. I see this team as trying the long passes, the long bombs, which is beautiful, by the way. Let me just say, I love passing, and it's not something you see all that often, especially in league, because most of the teams want to protect the ball in a cage and just run into the end zone. But I think that this team has got that one thing going, that they won't hesitate to make the long passes, the long bombs. But as we were pointing out before, there's not a single guard piece in this team. There is one reserve. There are some injured players. Arcturus, he's there with agility 3. There's at least 4 pieces with armor 7, and that might be a problem for the Suns. So yes, there is a lot of bludge, but they are, I would say, a bit open to bashing, and I think that might be the downfall of the Violent Suns this season, if they get some of their pieces removed from the pitch.
Yeah, that is all valid point. Serious Jesse going on. I don't know what Serious Jesse going about. We got to add the Bernie Wowzer emote to our Discord. Bearsy Wowzer, Bernie Wowzer. Sweet reward for subbing Bernie Wowzer. Are you saying you've subbed me or something? Because if you have, it hasn't come up, and if you have, thank you very much. If not, don't worry about it. Yeah, that was that's an interesting emote for sure, Jesty. It's you know, I think I stretched my face a bit with my headphones on, but yeah, it's a cool thing. A lot of people like the Bernie Wowzer, absolutely. Yeah, the Violent Suns have certainly got some pieces, and obviously he did very, very well last season and did well to get to the playoffs. And he's got the pieces to do well in the pros for certain. Like I say, number 2 is a nice piece. I like that. Number 5, how well does he one turn? If he one turns, that is fantastic. Do you know what, Serious Jess? I didn't even know you subbed me, mate. It didn't even tell me that you subbed me. But thank you very much, much appreciated. Stupid Twitch. You should always tell me, shouldn't it? Get it sorted, Jesty. Get it sorted. But yeah, the Benny Moat, brilliant. But I don't say, because I thought that was only for people who sub me, you know, and obviously people are sad enough to sub me. But yeah, well done. You've got the Benny Moat. Get that on Discord. I don't know how you do it. If you can get it on Discord, Jesse. You know what I'm like with Tentacle. I'm a dinosaur. If you can get it on there, by all means, you guys can use it. It's not a problem. But thanks very much, Jesse. Much appreciated, buddy. I like the Suns, but again, I haven't seen much of Professor X. We've had a few games ourselves. And Drunken Monk says he goes for it big and goes for it often. That is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. I love high elf players who does that. You know, and thanks, Jesse. Like I say, now I'm back in the MML. I will be doing a lot of the games. As I've said, there is other leagues I'm in, and obviously Rebel will still get some work. But I always said MML is my home. It was back in the day, and obviously now I'm back. So if I am streaming on the PS4, it will be with the MML. You can hold me to that on this video. So yeah, I don't know. It's something about the MML. I just love the MML. So yeah, I will be doing a lot more work. And like I said, these recaps, I do them because people seem to enjoy them, and we have great people like Gio, who's given up his time, and many others who have done it. I mean, I've learned we've got a crazy pirate in our MML community as well. So hey, good stuff. Anyway, I'll leave the love and all that for another thing. I want to get on with the Professor X's. I've got to try and be professional now. I like this team. I want to see more of them, and I like the idea with Drunken Monks. I just love high elf teams who will just throw the ball. Throw it as long as possible. Them long bombs and a beautiful catching it and just going to the end zone, and then a nasty Nagel warrior just clotheslines it and the head comes off. Yes, I'd like to see that. But I like this team. I think they'll do well. They've got some nice pieces, and I really hope Professor does well, because he's a nice lad, and I pray he does well. He's got some nice pieces. He's got a lot of blodge. That'll help him. He's that number 5. I'm watching to see how that number 5 develops. He's only one level off. I know it's a long way away, but I wonder what he'll get. Sprint, maybe? Sure feet? Who knows? He's got 2 killers. The only thing I want to see on this team now, I don't know about you, Gio, but what I want to see on this team now is guard. I want to see some guard.
Definitely, yeah. It's the first thing I pointed out about this team. There's not a single piece with guard, and I mean, elf teams they can punch, but they have to be very selective about who they're going to punch. They have to be like a surgeon, you know, like I have to remove this piece right here, and a mobile agility 4 guard piece greatly helps that purpose, and that's the one thing this team is missing, some guard.
Yeah.
Then as Monk was pointing out, and because of the play style of Professor X, this team is going to be the one passing the ball around. Mm-hmm. It's going to be beautiful. I really like the way Professor plays his elves. He goes for the passes. He loves them. We all love them, and it's beautiful to see.
The only thing I hate about this team, and I know a strong word here is, I don't know what other word I can possibly use, is the thrower. Leader, why the beep? Has he got leader? He doesn't need leader. He's got 3 rerolls. He's got all the skills built in. He's got pass built in, so he won't need the reroll for that. If you know, I don't like leader on that thrower. I hate it. I really, really don't like it. I think it's a waste of a skill. You've got your 3 rerolls. High elves don't need 4 rerolls. I don't think so. I don't know about anyone in chat, but I would go. I would have either took show hands to stop strip ball and obviously save on rerolls when you roll 1, block to make him a blodger would make him a lot more safer, or if you'd have rolled a double, then I'd have gone for some like strong arm or something like that. I just think leader is I hate leader as a skill anyway, but on a throw, what's developing into a big thing. I just think leader's waste. It's such a waste. You know what? I'd even would take Shofi over that. Professor X says he'll be dropping a reroll next season. Okay. I just think your thrower's there to throw the ball and do the best he can and protect him. Put a leader on him. I don't like it. I don't. I just don't. That's the only thing I don't like about this team. Everything else, great. Apart from that, but as people who've watched me with recap shows before, I have a really bad issue with just having 2 rerolls or leader reroll. Yeah, see, he likes serious Jess. What do you know about high elves? It's not like you ever play them, is it? I don't like the leader skill at all ever. The only time I've ever used the leader skill is on Dark Elf Runner when I do a Dark Elf team at the beginning when I only have 2 rerolls, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't do 2 rerolls. How do I get a third one? Bang on there. TV efficient. That's gone a long time ago, mate. It's 1950. I think when he got over 1900 and you're all about the same, you might as well just bloody think. I mean, how much? 50k. So what you saving yourself? 20k. You save yourself 20k, and if Draconius gets splatted, then you lose a reroll. I just think when you have players and you expect, as it is now with the 3 rerolls, if he loses him, that's not the issue. The issue he has is when you only have 2 rerolls and you're relying on your leader reroll, and then you lose him, and then also you only got 2 for the rest of the season. Reroll for 20. Is it for 20? All right, 20k. So he's saving himself 30k then. Fair enough. And in the play, I just don't like it. No one's going to tell me that a thrower that well developed should be getting leader on that skill. I don't like it. Everything else, I do. Sorry. I just don't. Best matchup though for these high elves, Gio. Come on, let's get on to something positive. What's he gonna like? What's he gonna win against?
I think he's gonna like facing the halflings because as I told you before, there's tons of agility teams in this conference, and then Petridi that's gonna hamper a little bit of the passing. So at least the halflings will not be a problem for that strategy. So I think that that's the one matchup that he's going to be happy at ease playing the style he likes, because all the other teams most of the other teams do have something to counter the passing game that Professor X likes so much.
Yeah, it's a funny team because there's nothing here where I would say, oh my god, he's a massive favourite. But he's got a team what could beat any of these teams, to be fair. It wouldn't surprise me to beat any of them. Who would he have the best chance against? I don't know. If I'm being brutally honest, there's nothing what stands out as a...
You can always go with the Bengal Pharaohs, Bernie, because Camry against agility, especially that agility 6 piece, that's gonna do a number against my Pharaohs.
Yeah, but you could get a wizard doing inducements. And you could break them horribly with all that mighty blow. I don't like him against the Pumas. Maybe the rats. Maybe. Because the rats, especially if that other guy retires, they come nowhere near as scary. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rats. I think. See, he's already beaten the Pumas. God damn it, Professor! You could have told me that beforehand. Bloody hell! Wait now. Oh well, the Pumas. Say, not helping me in chat, are they? I feel like saying, yeah. I think the best match was Revenge Pumas. Super Bowl will be useful against the Flings. Yeah. Bloody hell! I'm gonna go with the Rats because I've said it now. You was too bloody late. Gotta go with the Rats. You gotta beat the Rats. Make sure you beat them so I can at least say, I said they'd beat. You know what would be great now is if you lost to the Pumas, but then beat the Rats, because then I'd be like loving it. I'd be loving it. So it was a Darwin. What's the Darwin? A dicey now. I quite like the Darwin. It beat the Davos because he dived at them. I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Right, worst case matchup for the Suns. Who's the worst one?
Well, because of play style, I'm gonna have to say that Putridi is gonna cause him a headache.
You love this Nagel team, don't you? You love this Nagel team.
I do.
You love them so much. You should. You should be. You're getting Four Horsemen T-shirts. I think we should get some merchandise and just send it to you, and we'd all have mansions because I think you'd buy everything Nagel. I'd get a nice little.
Yeah, you do that, man.
I'm gonna get a fluffy toy. I'm gonna get a fluffy toy of a beast, saying "I love you, Geo" with it, or something. Or stick Thingy's head on it. What do you call her? Oh, who beat Harley's head on it, or something, or the nice lovely beast with Harley in his tentacles or something. I think we could. I could retire.
I'm gonna start a campaign here in Cochabamba, Bolivia, like promoting the Four Horsemen, and people will be wearing the T-shirts. They won't have the least idea about what they're supporting, but they will wear them.
They will love it. They will love it.
You will have thousands of people in South America rooting for the Four Horsemen. But
we don't know who you are, but you rule. That sounds cool to me. That sounds cool. And we could go over there. And oh man, we'd be loved. I think that's a great idea. I think that should happen. So when we come to yours, we won't even have to crash at yours. We'll be putting a 5-star hotel, not even have to pay for it. Do a few signatures and all that. London will love it. London will love it there. Oh yeah, get it done. I love it already. That's what you need to make that happen now. Yes, I'm going to be rich. I'll probably die before I'm rich, but you know what? I'm going to dream that in a couple of years' time, I'm going to have my own merchandise company thanks to this man here. Anyway, back to reality. You like the Snaggle, don't you? You love the Snaggle. You love the Nagel. Oh,
no,
God.
The thing is that I really like from this conference. I think that the three teams that I really like are
Don't give it away. You're not supposed to give it away yet. Don't give it away. Don't tell them.
Oh, okay. And Nurgle against the Violent Sons. I truly do think because of the playstyle of Professor X and him loving those long passes.
Yep.
They're gonna be a real headache for the stars in the Violent Sons.
Yeah. And do you know what? I get it, and that claw piece will probably chew away on a few pieces as well. He's got some tackle there as well. I suppose with Professor, it depends how he's going to react, because like we've said when we preview Putridi to the team Putridi, a lot of his killy stuff's on the slow pieces. So I would like to think a good coach like Professor will try and keep away from them, or give him just a crappy Lano or something. So yeah, I get that. I get the love coming for the Nagel. I mean, I'm sure you'll be on his Christmas card list for certain. We are about the worst case scenario. I think the worst case scenario, and I think I'm safe in saying this because I'm hoping he's going to turn around and say, "Yo, bro, I beat them as well. I'm gonna go for the wood chippers, baby. Yeah, wood elves are better elves, I think." And they just have more tools than them. Although I am scared about that. They might blow tackle pieces. And now probably regret saying the wood chippers. But I've said it, so I will stick with them. The wood chippers will get it done. And if it's at the wood chippers ground, that wizard will suit them better than Professor X's. So I'm going to go with the wood chippers to beat the Professor X's Violent Sons. But I hope it's something like a 3-2-4-3 because we want excitement. So there we go. Yeah, boy! Yeah, I love you too, clown. Now get selling me some of them Four Horsemen t-shirts. Now then, the final team. We've come to... I hope it's the final team. I think it is. It is the Bengal Pharaohs. My co-announcer's team, Gio's Nasty Khemri. Can they become a Khemri making the playoffs? Just like we think Teddy Tom will with his Khemri. Will we have two Khemri teams in the playoffs this season? Well, we're going to find out now. And I guess I better go first this time because it's your team. Let me have a look at what I think of this team. The Bengal Pharaohs. Well, what I like is the 4 Tomb Guardians. They've all got guard. They've all got might blow. He's got 2 break tackles, so he's got a bit of flexibility. He's got a bit of guard in there. So he can grab one of these lovely things, put it behind them and stamp it to oblivion. He's got Billy Mick. I think Billy Mick's going to be good. Interesting to see what he's going to pick next, though, with 3 points. He could go for the really aggressive route. He could go for, like, piling on and just jump on them, or he could go for frenzy. He could go for... I'm sure there's some other nice skills he could go for. Skelly Thor, got to be the best named Blitzer ever. Interesting to see what he does with that. Mortal Kombat, he is the prima donna of the team. He's a right diva, isn't he? He's the guy. He's a ball carrier. He's one of the very few Khemri who can actually pick a ball up at the first attempt. And I think that T-Fast Warrior guy, he's just there as window dressing, as a backup. You know, like all these American footballers have like Tom Brady's and all that, and they're really good, and they have this I don't know, backup quarterback who no one's really interested about, but he's there just to say, hey, I'm here if you need me. But he's never used unless Mortal Kombat does. So he's got a good basis, and obviously I know by playing against you, he's very good at positioning, so he'll get the most out of them Tomb Guardians. And the good thing is, if you try and base these Tomb Guardians, keep them in place, number 1 and number 2 on a 2 plus will just move where he wants them as well. He's got a good ball carrier. Number 10's pretty decent as well. I would like, if it was me personally, 2 things for this team: a Dairy player on a skeleton, because it looks weird seeing a Khemri team without a Dairy player. And the only other thing what this team really lacks, in my opinion, is a proper killer. What I'm hoping Billy Mick will be. I always think you need that one scary enforcer, a bit like my mad Frankie Fraser, who just prowls, looks angry, prowls round the back of, like the back line of defense, thinking, if a go runner comes through or someone like a Smurf comes through, he's going to chomp on it and eat it. That's the 2 things I think you're lacking, Gio. Everything else, I love it. Some nice mode doubles on the Tomb Guardians would be nice as well. So let's hope we get a few more of them. But I think this team, mate, it's got a chance. You're saying, you're trying to play it cool, saying, I think I'll struggle this season. And I think there is some tough matchups for you. But I also think there's a lot of good matchups for you. And I think you'll be top 4 with this team. Another prediction, guys, top 4. Gio, would you like to say anything about your team?
Well, the only thing I can say about my team, my dear Bernie, is that we're going after that Bengal. This is a holy mission. This is a mission from God, a God of death and darkness, but a God nonetheless. That sacred Bengal of Supai was stolen from the temple of the Bengal pharaohs, and it is our duty to retrieve it. So it's a team that's very driven by the fluff, by the story. There's a rivalry, but unfortunately, I think that we won't be able to see the Cardell Devils this season.
Yeah,
we were looking forward to that, but nonetheless, there is a mission. We need to retrieve the Bengal. We need to get the trophy of the MML, because now the Bengal is part of the ornaments of the trophy.
I blame the...
So
I blame it. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'll do, because I was going to say this, but obviously I should have said this before I came to you, because I've got something to read out here, what you obviously gave me. So I'm going to read this, and then obviously I'll let you finish what you're saying, because this will probably sound pretty good.
Yeah.
The Bengal Pharaohs were convinced to join the MML and participate in the league by the mad coach Gio Hakas. As it turns out, the sacred Bengal of Sapir was stolen from the underground pyramid, and Gio discovered that it now serves as an ornament on the MML trophy. Thus, the Pharaohs need to win the league to retrieve their Bengal. But wait, the plot thickens. A rivalry sparked during Season 17 when the Pharaohs received the news that the devilish coach of the Cardell Devils was involved in the theft. So he pinched it, and then he's ran away, and he's not even going to play it. Apparently, he sent a witch to loot the treasured Bengals to give it an offering to Cain. At least that's what Gio was discovered, and Hawker has not denied it. The Pharaohs are eagerly looking to play against the Devils again and make them pay for their transgressions. Despite the fact that the team works as a unit, there is a hero that stands out. Mortal Kombat. While the rest of the team excels in bashing and mauling the opposition, Mr. Combat carries the burden of scoring the touchdowns. He is the most wanted player on the team. All the coaches want him dead and not moving. This throwout comes from humble beginnings, but is destined to become a legend. Is there more? What cost us more? After the amazing run his team had in Season 17, the Mad Coach Gio has fallen victim to the excesses brought by fame. He wants it all, but can he handle it? Some say that he's actually looking for the bangle to cast a spell that will allow him to sink the world into shadows and rule with an iron fist. Others say that he has become drunk with power and liqueur, and that he is now crazier than ever. Season 19 might bring the answer to those and other questions. Will Season 19 be the season of the Pharaohs? Dun dun dun! And I will breathe. There we go. I'm sure most people would have understood that somehow. So yeah, that's it. I can't believe that, you know, they pinched it, and then they're not even playing this season. That seems that screams guilt to me, mate. That screams guilt.
That's definitely something we will never forget. I mean, we were looking forward to seeing Hawkeye again, but he'll come back eventually, and we'll find him. We will find him eventually. So yeah, I mean, as you were pointing out, this team does have a star player, Mortal Kombat. But he's also a decoy, and I'm being very generous by saying this during your stream. Mortal Kombat is sometimes just the guy everyone goes after, but we've got some other weapons that can still score. So I'm happy if people are going after Mortal Kombat because he can take care of himself. He's so good. He's so swift. No one expects a Thora to move, to have those moves. He can move like Jagger, man. I'm telling you, he's
swagger like Jagger.
So good. Yes, exactly. And yeah, I'm actually quite. At the same time, I'm very worried, and I'm very very happy that I'm in this conference and division this season, because it's a true challenge. Last 2 seasons, because this is Pharaoh's 3rd season, there was a lot of bash in the conferences, and maybe one agility team, maybe 2, no more than that. But this time around, this season, there's tons of agility teams, and that's something that we really need to practice. And I'm currently practicing in the farm with other Camry teams, and there's several of the MML coaches that are giving me a hand. They're playing agility teams against my Camry, so we are practicing. Yes, the Matt coach Giosekas, he's been drinking a lot. He's been undertaking many other activities, but that does not mean that we are not focusing on season 19. We hope to bring a surprise or a couple of surprises, and let's see how it goes. I'm very very excited, and I just cannot hide it, and it's gonna be beautiful. I love playing this Camry. It's actually the first time I'm bringing Camry to a league. I had no experience with Camry before the Bengal Pharaohs, and I love them. I've come to really love this team, and let's hope we can at least make the playoffs on season 19.
I hope so. I think they're a good team, and like I say, I've got a soft spot for the Pharaohs. Obviously, you put a lot of story, a lot of thinking into them. What's always good. I always like the fluff of the MML. Obviously, you're generally a nice guy, got a lot of passion. What obviously I love. And I think they'll do well. And it's good to not, like you say, it's good that you're now thinking, you know what, a lot of bash. Kenry can bash, but now you're looking forward to like going out of your comfort zone, taking on these obviously very fast agility teams. Will only it make you a better coach with Kenry as it goes along. So I really do hope you do well. It's really good that you've got the Magic Dome, because I think that's really important to have if you're obviously Kenry. Not just because of the rain, it's because obviously Swelling Heat as well could really make him. If Swelling Heat takes 1 or 2 of them Tomb Guardians away, then all of a sudden this team's in trouble. So it stops that as well. So I like that. The only thing I've just noticed, And I've just double checked to make sure. The only thing I don't like about this team is you've only got 2 rerolls. But I will say that against any team. You know.
Yeah. I used to have. I know. You said it just for the last team. We went over for the Violent Sons. There was another Thora, Abracadabra.
Yep.
And he had leader. He died his final death, and since I was missing the Thora, I had to choose between buying a good Thora or a reroll, and I did not have enough cash to buy both of them.
Yeah. So you did the right thing then. You did the right thing. Always get a play over there. But Abracadabra, what a great name for a guy who disappears. Fantastic.
Yeah, I know.
don't name him after someone who can disappear. Abracadabra, gone. Yeah, but yeah, obviously if that's the reason, then fair enough. But me personally, the next thing I'll be looking for is a reroll, because you've got a lot of these players with no block. I mean, the bad thing is you've got two blockers or throwers. Or the ball handler. So yeah, I think as much as the Tomb Guardians are good, you're not always going to get 3 die. So it's that's the thing I'd be looking at. I'd be probably now looking for a reroll. But I would have done the same as you. Just try to turn a good player and a reroll. You take the player every day. So let's see then what this is going to be interesting, right? Because it's his team, guys. Help me in chat. You guys need to start bloody putting your money where your mouth is, or whatever the saying is. Which team do you think is the Bengals' best chance of getting a win? Where should he be getting a win from? Tell me, because I'm going to try and figure this out now. Oh yes, I know already. No problemo. Your best chance of a win, this is easy for me. It's against those Nurgle. They got no guard. You got guard. You stronger than boy. You're going to get the win against the Nurgle. The only thing I'm worried about is that Mighty Blow Claw killer. Apart from that, not a problem. I think he'll get it done. So...
that mighty blow claw is always
a worry.
The Pharaoh's biggest fear, because decay doesn't seem like such a bad mega trait until you face claw mighty blow, and then your Tomb Guardians they get shredded to pieces, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that Nurgle do have against my Pharaohs.
But would you agree that that's your easy matchup, or do you think there's a better matchup for you out of the rest of them?
Well, I would like to, the Pharaohs, they're striving to make a name for themselves. And they want to take on legends. So because of that, we want to take on Rand. We seriously want to give it all, like everything we've got against the big names in the MML. And just because of that, and it has to do with the fluff, I'm going to say that the players are going to be so focused that they're gonna do something amazing against those rats. I'm going after them. That's as simple as that. I'm going after those rats.
Right. The Drunken Monk says Nurgle's your best matchup, but more shots has said it's the Skaven. So he agrees with you. He says you might not stop them from scoring, but you can't stop your 2-1 grand. He thinks, let them score, but then they're gonna have a major problem getting that ball off you with all that guard and Mighty Blow. And obviously with Mighty Blow against AV7, you should be able to break a few. So more shots obviously agrees with you. Drunken Monk is agreeing with me. So both are good matchups. So. What is your worst matchup, though? That's the issue. Let me know in chat who you think the worst matchup is for the Pharaohs. Is there one? Yes, there is. It's the Woodchippers. I just think the firepower. They've got so much firepower, they'll get the ball loose, and they'll take home to Mom, who'll make a nice pie with it. But again, you could just break the Woodchippers in half quite simply. But I just like the Woodchippers. They can get, the thing is, I'm not as confident with the Rats getting the ball off yet, but I'm extremely confident that the Woodchippers can get in there and get the ball off you. And they've got bloody Sparrow, and they've got the other things as well. Andy's saying the Halflings are your worst matchup. I don't think they are. I think he'll crunch them. Although if they took all your rerolls off you, that could be a problem. You've only got 2 rerolls. but yeah, I think the Wood Elves. Callum's on me saying he'd be more confident if he had the Wizard. Yes, but you've got the tools to take the ball off him. I think my concern wouldn't be that Zombie. My concern would be how many players is he going to take off quickly. That would be my concern. But I'm going to say the worst matchup for you is the Chippers. Who do you think is your worst matchup, Gio?
Well, I am driven by fluff, and we've fallen before those Pumas before last season, and my boys are still licking their wounds. Los Pumas is a great team. It is one of the big names. So I'm gonna go with Los Pumas because they've done it before.
Yeah, yeah. I think did they beat you 3-0 or something like that? They did. I think they gave you a bit of a beating.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
yeah,
it was a 3-0.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
they didn't even have Smurf on that one.
They did have Smurf, and they're going to have him this time. Yeah, Andy, we did mention that earlier on the show about the Flings beating the Flamers. We did, yeah. So, like I say, Torres going to beat some of these guys. It's hard. The thing is obviously we're trying to look at good matchups and bad matchups, but it's really hard because all these teams are really, really good. So it just, I think, personal preference more than anything else. But yeah, I can see why. I mean, obviously, when a team beats 3-0, you automatically think, and without their star player, so that is a good call, to be fair. Right, here we go. This is the pressure bit. We're at the end of the show. This is where Gio makes his money, and it's more pressure for Gio because he's obviously part of the Goblin Gambling. So I'm hoping that he's got some inside information he can tell us, because I think he deserves to at least help us. I mean, we won't tell anybody else, will we? As people in the chat, we won't tell anybody else. We promise to keep it secret, Gio. So I'm going to ask Gio, and I'm going to ask everybody in chat who is brave enough to put it in the chat who they think will finish second in this division, and then we'll ask first later on after we've got the second. So who's going to finish second? Put it in there now. And Gio, I want who you think will come second and why.
Okay. I'm gonna like put it here is Ran will finish second. They've been here for a long time. They've got the experience. They've got some amazing players. It's an amazing coach. They can keep up with all of the teams here. They might lose some players during this season because there's some bad guys out there, but I think they've got to do it because Kid Twist, he might be retiring soon, so he really has got little time left. He's gonna do it this season. Going to the playoffs, getting a shot at the trophy. Yeah, I'm going with Ran as second.
Yeah. So you're not believing the hype from Ran saying that this is a season where he's recuperating. You still think he's good enough to get there. Obviously.
I mean, like in this division, yeah, Ran will be second. That still gives him a shot at the playoffs, right?
Yep. First two get the playoffs. Defiant God, what a name that is. He thinks the Woodchippers will come second. The Drunken Monk says Kenry to second. So he's saying, Gio, you're going to the playoffs, baby. And Clown Zombie has said the Flings. He thinks the Flings could get second place. Who do I think will get second place? This is a tricky one. There was a lot of good ones in here. Oh dear. I think it's really hard because it's a long season. So I like the Woodchippers, but if they start losing a few players, that would concern me. You can never back against Jofro, the smiling assassin. I like the Pharaohs as well. I agree with Drunken; they could do well. Although agility is going to make it hard for them. NTB's convinced me that this season's not going to be their season, so I'm not picking them. And also, there's a massive rumour about the retirement of one of his best players. I can't have the Nagel because they're just not developed yet. Pumas, I like the Pumas. They always seem to do well. Okay, I am going to go second place, the Wood Chippers. I think Clan Zombie's got enough tools to get the ball off people and to score. So I'll go the Chippers second. Right, guys, who's going to finish top? Let me know. Yeah, I'm going to go Chippers. Who's going to finish top then, Gio?
I'm going with the wood chippers. I think that, as you just pointed out, they've got tools for everything. It's a very strong team on defense, and of course that when attacking, they can do it very easily as well. So I think that they've just come to the pros, and they have something to prove, and that's gonna drive them to end up in first position. Yes, so I'm going with the wood chippers for first.
Yeah, it was a close call for me which way I was going to flip him. Defiant God, it says Pumas to finish top. Clown Zombie thinks Ran, so he's sort of like Huey thinks Ran will do well. The Drunken Monk thinks Pumas are top as well. Clown Zombie says he's a great rat coach and they're long overdue a playoff run. I'm gonna go, and this is probably no surprise, and yeah, I guess it's sort of like because I love the team as well, but I think top of the tree this season will be the one and only Los Pumas. They will win the division. Smurfy will be as annoying as ever. He won't die. He'll rack up, how many touchdowns do I think he'll rack up this season? In 7 games? 12 to 14 touchdowns he will score by himself this season. He will be the top scorer in the division. He'll score more touchdowns even than any of those highly freaked out Wood Elves or High Elves. He will be the top try scorer of the division, and his touchdowns will lead Los Pumas to the top of the table and possible playoff glory, where they'll be trying to get their second MML Pro Championship title. I thank you. They will get it done. And Drunken Monk thinks he'll score 10 touchdowns. So there you go. We have told you what we think will do well. You've had the inside knowledge from Goblin Gambling, and if you believe Gio, you know who to pick now. Defiant God says 1 touchdown. He dies in the second game. What madness is this? All right, you could be right, to be fair. Maybe Rock might get him. Maybe one of those nasty Rocks will finish his career. But there you go. We are done for another playoff show. We've managed to almost go 2 hours. Again. Really happy about everyone in the chat. I thought maybe we won't get many in the chat because it's an afternoon. Probably people are busy out with the sun or at work or whatever. But it's been a really, really vibrant chat. So thanks to everyone in chat for keeping us company. Thanks to my co-announcer Gio. You've been amazing, as I knew you would. I love co-announcing. We'll have to do that again. So thank you again for coming on, and I really hope the Bengal Pharaohs make the playoffs. It would be good seeing the Camry in there. Can't let Teddy Tom have all the fame, so I'm sure you'll do well. So thank you again for coming in, Gio. And
thank you, Bernie. Thank you. It was an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure announcing this with you. And yes, I'm looking forward to the next time. We can maybe do some other conferences if there are still some that you need help with.
Good stuff.
So yeah, I'll be more than willing.
That's it. We've got him now. We said it. You've heard him. We're going to get Gio back on for another one sometime. We're going to hold him to that. Or we just basically, if he doesn't, we'll just kidnap the trophy and bribe him and not give him it until he does a few more. But yeah, thanks again for everybody. We'll leave it there. Good luck to all 8 teams in this division. I wish you all the best, and I know whichever 2 do make it to the players from this division will event it. So have fun. Good luck. Hope seriously nobody dies in it. I mean, the players, not the coaches, That'll be more drastic for coach does. And good luck to you all, and I hope the Pharaohs get their trophy so they can take it back to the Camry. Take care, guys. See you later, and have a good day. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye, everyone.